With a streamer by the name of Chud featuring this message in a stream yesterday, and the clip showing the message gets around.
The more that women are berated, the happier I am. But f*** your concerns and f*** you. I apologize for absolutely nothing. If I could do it again, I'd do it all in exactly the same way. If anything, I'd be more misogynistic. We're going to watch the video. We're also going to watch some other responses, because obviously there's been a lot of people that have spoken about this. So we're going to watch as many of the responses as you want to throw my way.
Sup, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show. Buckle up. Make sure you hit that like button to let me know you love these big shows. And let's just jump into it. Massive political streamer Hasan has found himself on the receiving end of accusations that he calls a ridiculous, slanderous lie, and in the middle of a controversy. So as far as any of the specifics here, it all appears to start with a Discord message.
How many views has this video got? Oh, it's got 770,000. This is off the chain. This is out of control. I can't believe how many people have seen this video, and by extension, it's heard about Lav. It's mental. I can't believe it. She's inevitable. Well, the thing is, okay, I mean, what is the consequence for someone doing something like this? This is the problem. And look, obviously, yes, I've made a lot of content. I've drama farmed, okay? I'll take whatever I have to for that. But the thing is like, she's like locked her account now. Apparently she's taken a break. You know, I don't know what the solution to this is. I mean, the solution is don't make, you know, unsubstantiated claims like this, I guess. Like, if you don't do that, then this isn't going to happen to you. But there is a lot of anger that people feel about unsubstantiated claims, because we do live in this era now where we had Me Too. Me Too was great in certain circumstances. Like, Me Too was great for exposing, like, say, Harvey Weinstein in a situation where the legal system wasn't seemingly going to do anything, you know? So we went through that period, and I think there's other people that have been outed as a result of it that I think we'd probably agree it's a good thing that they've been outed. But now, because of how easy it is to make a claim online, when obviously, you know, going to the police, this is the thing that people say about these claims, right? People say, you know, false rape allegations are rare. And that's true in terms of false rape allegations made to the police are rare. And one of the reasons for that is because people know that there are some consequences that can come from making false allegations to the police, you know? But that's a bit of a kind of disingenuous way of putting it if we're talking about allegations on the internet. People use the fact that false allegations are rare within the legal system, right? To that then extends to like the online thing. But that's just absurd on the face of it, because you could set up a fake account and go and make claims on the internet, and there's no consequence that will come of that if you turn out to be full of shit, right? There's no consequence. Anyone can do it. There's very little effort made to like significantly verify claims. There isn't really a way to verify claims on the internet, aside from like, you know, detectives, self-appointed detectives going and looking at stuff. So I really hate this argument that people make of, well, you know, the false allegation thing. I can't remember who it was. Someone in chat had a really good point as well. And when it comes to like, say, Harvey Weinstein, you had two things happen. So you had a lot of people come out, but those people that were coming out had credible, provable claims that they made about Harvey Weinstein, right? So you know, they were able to in some way substantiate what had happened. And even in the end, he only got convicted on 2 counts, which was, you know, whatever we talked about the other day. And there was obviously a lot of people that came out, and that's as a result, obviously, of the legal system filtering it through and getting the strongest, best claims they could to kind of try and convict Harvey Weinstein and, you know, onwards from there, right? Now, what happens online sometimes, and someone explained it really well, and I thought it was a really good point. It's like a CDO of allegations. So a CDO is like a financial product where they would take shitty mortgages, like, you know, B-rated mortgages or whatever, and they weren't any good for like other kinds of products. So they'd wrap them up together And because there were so many of them, it looked viable. But when you actually looked at what they weren't very good. They weren't very good. They weren't a very good investment because they were very poor quality. Like, I don't know financial stuff, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? But this is what happens sometimes with online allegations, is they'll get like a bunch of allegations together, and even though you look at the substance of individual ones, okay, there isn't really much there, because they wrap up so many together, they look way more credible than perhaps they are if you were to scrutinize them individually. That's why it's so important that claims should be scrutinized, to the individual level, so we make sure that we're not in a position where we're like, denouncing people that maybe have only been a bit creepy or, have done something limited. Because if you go and look at Lav's claims about that Gundaka guy, that's exactly what happened. The things that she was saying, the things people were saying were like, oh, he was a bit weird here, or oh, he liked dating younger women. A lot of them didn't have a single leg to stand on. But if you come forward and you say that, oh, a woman is claiming something about this man, that's going to be probably looked at with more scrutiny. But if you come forward and you say 10 or 20 women are saying something about this man, people are going to take that more seriously. But if you scrutinize and look at the exact nature of each claim, it's not necessarily going to, be as substantive or as much legs to stand on. Does that make sense?
From a streamer by the name of Lavlune back in September. With her saying there, I think Hasan's outrage about everything is really funny because he slept with my friend when she was 17 and
Oh God, this is going to be so awkward, isn't it? Look. Who's this?
He was 24.
Who's this? Who's this fellow?
Discord message from a streamer by the name of Lavlune back in September. With her saying that...
Who's this? It's me! What the fuck? That's so weird.
I think Hasan's outrage about everything is really funny because he slept with my friend when she was 17 and he was 24. With a streamer by the name of Chud Logic featuring this message in a stream yesterday, and the clip showing the message gets around. And as of recording, it has over 160,000 views. Now with this, many were pretty skeptical about the allegations because Lavlune apparently has fought with streamers in the past. And then as it started gaining traction, she changed some of the details in her story, saying in a since deleted tweet that the relationship between Hasan and her friend was legal, and saying that her comment was about Hasan allegedly partaking in an adult relationship with a woman 5 years his junior. With her going on to say on Patreon, Hasan Piker slept with my very young friend.
So here's the problem with this, right? It's true. Yeah, listen, obviously, yeah, it feels pretty cool to, get my name out there. I mean, it wasn't an intentional thing. It just kind of happened. It is what it is. We're famous. Chud Nation going global, baby. Chud Nation going worldwide. The problem with all of this is that Lav... Yes, in an article, said that the girl was like young, very young. Okay, but the issue is she has made a number of public claims about this beyond this statement. Now you might think, oh, it's in a Discord here, it's in a Discord there, etc., etc., etc. Sure, but if you're perpetuating these claims to a sufficient level that like a number of people are aware that you're saying that he slept with a 17-year-old, well, yeah, clearly you are publicizing this too much. Because, clearly the things that she said in Discords that have gotten round are not that they're very young, it's that they're 17. It's so ridiculous and it's such a cop-out. It's like, just admit that you either do one of two things. Number one, substantiate the claim that you're making. Or two, say, yeah, I messed up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. Is that too much to ask? Like, I don't know. I think that's pretty reasonable. If you're making this claim, which potentially could be illegal, dependent on the age of consent, where it is, and other situations, like, you got to be able to provide something to back this up. But she doesn't. She just wants to act like she never said that. I never did that. I never said it. Actually, what I meant was this, and this is what I put in the document. Yeah, that's what you put in the document, but there's sufficient things of you out there saying that otherwise, that it kind of makes this irrelevant,
when he was not so young. It was legal, but he's denounced men publicly for doing much less. I don't care about it, and she's never going to come forward, but the fact exists nonetheless, an example of hypocrisy. And adding, let me be clear, she's not coming forward because she doesn't care, because none of this was a big deal. It was legal. I barely cared. Hasan did nothing illegal, probably nothing immoral either.
So, obviously, he's missing the other bit here. I only bring it up because of the way Stephen held it over me. Obviously, this is like not related to the drama as such, and there's no reason Philip DeFranco would talk about this. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that someone would hold something over you when you yourself are going out to public Discord servers and making this claim. You know, you're alluding to it on Destiny's stream. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah. Anyway, Lav has had enough, okay? After this, I don't think there's going to be anything that comes up. Obviously, if something crazy happens, I'll cover it. But yeah, I mean, she's someone who always says, I'm taking a break. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. But then he comes back to it later. So we'll see what happens. She was supposed to be on a show yesterday debating about gender stuff. Which I wouldn't have watched because I'm not really interested in gender stuff or a debate about gender stuff. But yeah, if anything related to this comes up, if she comes out and makes a further statement, she is testing Max to see if he will abandon her. What makes you say that? Is Lav allowed to appear on the Chud Logic stream in person? If there's like a reason to, sure. But yeah, I mean, if there's like a panel or something and she's being discussed and she wants to come on, generally speaking, I wouldn't have a problem with that. How did Stephen possibly hold it over her? Has she explained that? I don't think so, no. I don't think so.
And so unsurprisingly, all of this makes its way back to Hasan, and he responds to the allegations in a stream. And there, saying the woman in question was 19 at the time of their relationship.
Yeah, I think Hasan's outrage against everything is really funny because he slept with my friend when she was
Oh my God. Guys. Remember all the stuff about spicy chat? Spicy chat has now been exposed to more people than some of the people that have been whinging about spicy chat. Okay, just let's put that in perspective, okay? Spicy chat is now more famous than some of the spurgs that have been going mental about it. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so pleased. In fact, I could actually potentially be, you know, feel more pleased about that than my face being out there so much. But no, it's I mean, listen, it's nice to sort of have your stuff get put out there to this level. I never look. If someone had said to me, "Your coverage of Lav is gonna like reach the highest echelons of like YouTube drama coverage and stuff," would you do it? And I'd say yes, because I don't care about what happens to women. The more that women are berated, the happier I am. But in all seriousness, it is like a bit excessive, I've got to say. It is a bit much, isn't it? Well, I don't know. I think it's a bit much. Maybe you think differently, chat. And the other thing as well about all of this is look at this. Will I ever beat the misogyny allegations? That was the name of my stream where I spoke about this. It's so funny that now is like literally attached to every, you know, piece of coverage that's happened about this, pretty much from what I've seen. It is a banger. In fact, I just want to speak to that for a second, okay? I just want to speak to that for a second because I have had some complaints about the coverage. People are acting like I'm sort of some sort of terrible misogynist guy because, yes, I said some harsh things about Lav, and I won't repeat them here because I'm worried about getting this video monetized on YouTube. But there were some very harsh, and I completely accept, you know, criticism of the words I said and whatever, okay? I totally understand that. I see where you're coming from. I do understand your position and your concerns. But fuck your concerns and fuck you. I apologize for absolutely nothing. If I could do it again, I'd do it all in exactly the same way. If anything, I'd be more misogynistic, okay? I'd be even more openly misogynistic about it, okay? Because here's the thing that I find frustrating about this, right? People don't look to my interactions or my discussions or me covering women, right? And take any credence or any view of that. They don't look at that and go, okay, you know, Chud's done this or that or the other, or he's spoken to this woman or spoken to that woman or spoken to that woman. And obviously there's no issues there, you know? Like, I had a debate with Kelly Jean, like quite a contentious debate with Kelly Jean. And I don't think I've ever really made any like hardline misogynistic comments about Kelly Jean, you know? It's tactical misogyny. It's obviously tactical misogyny that I'm engaging in. But no, it is frustrating that people... I don't care about getting called a misogynist, okay? If you think I'm a misogynist, yes, I'm a misogynist. I'll be the misogynist that you need me to be if you want. What I take an issue with is that people are using that to dismiss anything else. And some of the most misogynistic things that I said came at a time where, you know, I was, obviously it was a bit of a, there's always a bit of performativity that comes with, you know, getting angry on stream. But there is a truth there that, like, yeah, I feel pretty annoyed that, for example, someone would lie to me in a stream about something as simple as whether they've put naked pictures of themselves on Patreon in order to, like, win a debate. I think that's pretty cringe. So, yeah, in the heat of the moment, I will say terrible, terrible things. But there is some truth in them. That's all I'm saying. But people will use it to, you know, dismiss or like sidestep what I feel are pretty reasonable points or criticisms about someone's behavior. Do you know what I mean? I would say that Lav's Patreon, I would say that is a scam. I would say that is actually a scam. Because, and you know, obviously I've got the message that I spoke about the other day from the person who said that, like, they'd signed up to the Patreon because there were nudes on there and then they got deleted. And since then, no other content has gone up that they were signed up for in the first place. Also, she keeps teasing and talking about, like, this video that she's going to put up, which to this day still is not up on the Patreon, right? And look, do I think it's funny when Kumas get scammed? Yeah, obviously I think that's kind of funny, okay? But also, I believe in consumer rights and consumer protections. And I think that if you are promising a certain product or you're saying you're going to deliver something for a cost and you don't deliver that, that sucks. I think that sucks. And I think that, you know, you should consider that and maybe think about how you're running your content creation business if you're saying you're going to deliver something for the people that follow you and support you and you don't, you know? So the point there is that I think there is something that's worthy of criticism. Obviously, I appreciate, you know, the kind of rampant and blatant misogyny that I engage in every single day is obviously going to put some people off. But if you can, just try and look past that a little bit and see if maybe there is something there that is worthy of, you know, some criticism. You know, I feel when I have to take like a bit of time off streaming and I'm like, you know, oh man, I need to, you know, take a bit of time off here, take a bit of time off there. I feel kind of guilty. I'm like, well, you know, my subs expect me to stream like this amount of time, like Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Sorry, Thursday to Monday, I should be going live. And if I'm not, I feel a little, but obviously it's, you know, I have to take some time off sometimes. But it does feel a bit like, oh man, that kind of sucks, you know? I hate not being able to stream at my normal time. Did she promise it past month or this month? Well, she spoke about it on my stream towards the end of last month. I mean, she has put stuff up, but since deleted it. Like, obviously, I'm sure that person that messaged me isn't the only one. I'm sure there's other people that would have complaints if you were to speak to them. But yeah, obviously, when it comes to Patreon, if you're not happy, you just got to cancel your subscription, and that's the way that you show someone that, you know, you're not happy with that. Not that I'm advocating for that. It's up to you what you choose to do if you are subscribed.
Philip DeFranco actually missed a lot of context. So this.
If I was conspiratorial, I'd think Destiny sent this to everyone and asked them not to mention him. Okay, well, at least you've saved yourself a bit by saying it's conspiratorial, okay? There's this fucking insane idea that Destiny is like the fucking puppet master, and he is like dictating and telling everyone what to cover and what not to cover and all of this stuff. I would agree that there's a level of influence. Perhaps you could argue that Destiny is asserting with like blackout content bans and stuff like that. But like, I mean, to me, I read that personally as just really genuinely not wanting to kind of associate with it too closely. Bearing in mind, I think it's like 2 weeks. But like, I could understand someone having that perspective. But that's, you know, very different to like people are acting like I'm getting sent a fucking script by Destiny and that he's dictating to me what I should cover and what I shouldn't cover. He literally said you'd be banned from his stream if you had Mac on Max. What the position is that Destiny won't have you on his stream for 2 weeks if you have Lav or Max on. That is the rule he's setting in place. I mean, as I've said before, not relevant to me. I'm gonna do whatever content I want to do. If I can't go on someone else's stream because of it, so be it. Okay. But the thing is like people are spinning that out to be like Destiny is like telling people what he can and can't cover and shit like this. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. I mean, I don't know for sure. I can't prove a negative. All I can say is that from my perspective, you know, Destiny has not said to me directly what I should or shouldn't cover or what I can and can't talk about. He's made, you know, no indication like that at all. So, yeah. Can we agree there is some pressure to do what he wants, though? I mean, the thing is like how much of that is down to Destiny, though? Dictating things, and how much of that is because you might be worried about a response you might get from his community, and part of that is on you. You know, if you don't want a certain response from his community, and then you therefore do or don't cover something, well, that's up to you at the end of the day. You know, the reality is, unless Destiny gets in some massive drama, I could not talk about Destiny for 2 weeks and a month even.
You know what this sounds like? Cry bully cucks upset and mauling their cuck queen got caught being a succubi.
You see what I mean? Like, if you really didn't want to talk about this, you could not talk about it for weeks or like a month, and then you wouldn't have to worry about any sort of content blackout, or, you know, if you talk about this in a certain way or that in a certain way, you're going to get in trouble, right? You know, there is very much your side of it where you can choose to engage or not engage with certain points or certain aspects, and you take whatever comes with that, you know?
This woman in question has been running around a bunch of streaming spots and a bunch of Discord saying she's got this nuke that she's going to drop on Hasan. It could be career ending. It's going to expose him.
Duns, I'm about to drop a Hasan nuke.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
No, DM it
stop.
to me.
Stop doing that.
No.
Lav, you're gonna end your whole fucking career on this shit. Don't do it. Not in a good way. Literally, it's not worth it.
I know.
So
but every
stop.
time his name is brought up, I'm like vibrating.
Stop. No,
Wait,
you shouldn't be.
wait.
Stop.
Just know Hasan is well known in Los Angeles.
No.
And then she comes out with the fact that he was sleeping with a
Wait.
17-year-old.
Did you see the person going around saying you got perms taken away? No. Who the fuck said that? I never had perms in Destiny's Discord because I never jumped on stream randomly. I would only ever go on if I had a piece of content lined up that he was going to participate in, Or was one time, I think, where Dan invited me on to trigger Brittany Simon about something. I can't fucking remember. But that's the only fucking... Perms is you know, what do you call it? Permissions. Yeah, Discord permissions to join a voice cat channel. In context of Destiny server, it means you have got the role, which means you can jump on his stream at any time. So whoever's saying that is fucking retarded. Someone checked recently, before some of this drama went down even, or maybe during it. But yeah, to my knowledge, I've never had perms. Anytime I've been on Destiny stream, either we've done it in my Discord, or I've been dragged on the stream by like Dan. So this idea that like I got it taken away is just bullshit and completely false. And I'd presume that it's being used as some narrative that I'm being controlled or something. I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it is not true. That is complete fucking bullshit.
She didn't say. And then after she gets called out, she walks it back saying, no, actually, it was a 19-year-old. It was completely... So when you were running around saying it was a nuke before, bitch, what was it? Like 17.
Like 17.
Which is a pretty big deal.
It's a whole difference.
Yeah, hey, it's the difference between you being in some woman's cheek and a dude being in your cheek. You get me? And she out here talking, and she's done this numerous.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the sub.
Yeah, she's a serial liar.
She's a serial. All I know is this bitch is lying, okay? And she been lying.
That's crazy.
And let me ask this, okay?
That's crazy.
This is why I think this is interesting, because previously she'd called another man basically the Harvey Weinstein of Twitch. And then everyone's like, what the fuck are you trying to say? You call this dude like some... And she's like, no. Actually, I walked that back. I shouldn't have said that.
I should not have made the Harvey Weinstein comparison. I shouldn't have. I will walk it back. I will walk it back completely.
I was like... You just casually just be calling people some of the worst villains alive?
I can't escape my own face. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, I've covered it a lot, and some of my videos have been covered by other people. But obviously, yeah, it is intriguing. How many views does this one get? Oof, damn. Lav is really getting roasted on this one, isn't she?
And you think that shit's acceptable?
You at some point, to me, you know what the fuck you're doing. You know your power. If it was a one-time thing, I still can't trust your ass. I can't trust you. But if you do it a bunch of times, you know what the hell you're doing, and then you're gonna come back, and then you're gonna come back and do it again because you know what you're doing, because you know you're not gonna get caught. Privilege.
Let's see.
I think my brain is fine. I think well. I just don't think before I speak. I just need to be more patient. I'm just impulsive. I'm just impulsive and retarded. I'm obviously severely mentally ill.
Nah. That's the excuse afterwards. Because the first time you said that shit, I'd be like, all right, that's a fucking retarded thing to do, but hope you learn. And then you do it again and again and again and again and again and again. Nah, B. Nah, you gotta know how serious this shit is the first time you got caught doing it, right? And then you're like, I'm impulsive.
Albert is the expert at kicking people when they're down. I mean, I think that, like, who remembers when Bad Bunny was, like, aggressively asking for subs? And that went, like, absolutely insane. And what was it? Moist Critical did a video about it and got, like, a bajillion views. And it was basically him just shitting on Bad Bunny. Or now Kira Chats. Damn. That was disproportionate. Some element of this is probably disproportionate too. Sure, I'd accept that.
Just $5 uni 100.
Thank you very much for the bits. F-bombs. Also, though, it's like, yes, there's a level of disproportionality that there's so many people now looking at this and talking about this. But also, if you do some dumb shit on the internet, yeah, that's just what happens, sadly. Like, if there was a way that you could deal with this in a way that didn't involve just people making content out of it or something, like, yeah, great. But that's just the internet. Like, you know, yeah. C'est la vie. This is my issue with it. It's like, yeah, some of this kind of sucks if you look at it from a broader perspective. Does someone deserve to get a bajillion videos made about them talking about, a bad thing they've done? I mean, deserves the wrong way of looking at it. To me, I just see it. That's how the internet works. Like, if you do some dumb shit, there's going to be a lot of content made about it. If you do it publicly and word gets out and people start talking about it, I do think that I'm very much against going to a Twitter or obviously trying to go at her and comment. I think what happens is people see content creators making videos about it and talking about it, and they want a piece of the action. They want a piece of the action. So they want to go and they want to challenge them. And that leads to people going to Twitter, DMs, etc., and just kind of piling on. Obviously, in any situation, yeah, that's stupid. And I'd never advocate that people do that. But that is unfortunately what's going to happen when someone does something and content is made and people talk about it. There is always going to be this kind of wave of people that do stupid stuff like that. That is complete bullshit, Chud Logic. It isn't disproportionate. Hasan had the same number of people seeing the accusation. She poked a bear and now she's getting mauled. Yeah, but that's because Hasan spoke about it on stream. Yeah, obviously I don't disagree that Hasan is wrong for what happened to Hasan. He shouldn't have false accusations levied against him. But the point is that in talking about something wrong that's happened that's wrong, you end up just giving it more exposure. And who do you blame for that? Who's at fault for that? Because obviously, if you talk about something, it could be a good reason for you to talk about it, but you're inevitably bringing more exposure that brings the more likelihood of people going and harassing and going and giving people shit. The reality is, you need to have, if you're some sort of public figure, you need to have your social media set up in such a way so that you don't see all of the shit that you get in your notifications, and you need to try and switch that off as much as possible and have it so you just get notifications from people that you follow. I've got it set up like that just so I don't have to deal with a bunch of dribbling morons saying stupid shit, and life's much easier that way. Oh no, listen, I'm not saying that he's not justified. Yeah, as I just said, he's totally justified to talk about it, but the unfortunate reality is that just brings more exposure, and then now we've got ABBA covering it, we've got Philip DeFranco covering it, and again, I don't think ABBA are wrong to cover it. I don't think Philip DeFranco is wrong to cover it. That's going to happen. If you do something insane like this, yes, obviously people are going to come for you in that way. But yeah. Anyway. If this is the first time I'd watch something like this, but I do... but destroying people's brand... I mean... In terms of Lav, a lot of this stuff has happened outside of Destiny. If you think about it, it's all your fault, Chud. Lav's patron post doesn't say 17. You searched for messages in Discord and posted it for everyone to see and discredit her. Okay, Alex, right. You're fucking razor thin to getting fucking banned from my chat for high tier retardation that means you're not able to watch my stream, okay? I didn't put the message out there thinking that people were going to cover it and talk about it, right? My basic point is, how can someone claim that a secret is being held over them when they've publicly stated the secret a number of times? Because apparently it wasn't just my Discord that she said it in. It was in others too, okay? Now, I didn't ask or request the clip to get put on LSF. The clip got put on LSF. Hasan saw it and Hasan responded to it. You talking about me being this white blood cell, right? I don't know what you mean. I'm covering drama. I see something on my stream that I think is wrong, and I say, well, hang on a minute. I think this is wrong, and here's why. And that gets picked up and is covered by everyone. This is what exactly I'm trying to say. If you want to blame me, I guess you can. It seems kind of retarded to me, but I guess you can. All I'm doing is covering what is put out there. And sometimes that might get picked up. And in this case, it's happened to create a bit of a firestorm that has led to people like ABBA covering it, that has led to people like, Philip DeFranco covering it. Do you not want me to... What should I have done when I saw that? You know, if I see something that I think is wrong and I got some evidence to show, well, hey, this is why I think it's wrong, should I just not say that? Should I just not say what I honestly think? That doesn't make any fucking sense, mate. Think about what you're saying before you type, okay? Otherwise, you're quickly going to get banned.
And it was fucked up and everything. And I'd be like, hey, you still a stupid motherfucker and I can't trust you. But you can't use the same. I'm just impulsive. No, I can't. When I was a kid, I was impulsive. I was slapping motherfuckers.
And yeah, by that logic, should I not have said what I said about Keffels on stream? Should I not have said a story that happened at a Twitch party? Because it happened to then become this like thing that everyone spoke about and it became this drama. Right? This is the problem. I have said a number of times what I'm about and what I do, okay? I feel it's pretty clear now. So like, when I engage in that behavior or I do the content that I do, that I speak about doing, that I do, why is it that people act mad at me? Like, this is just what I do. This is my content, you know? And if you've got a problem with it, that's fine. Don't watch me. Stop watching my content. Don't engage with it yourself. Don't be an extra viewer for me. Don't watch my YouTube videos. But if you're here watching, you're part of it too. Because guess what? Why do I do this stuff? I do it because, yeah, sure, to a degree I like doing it, obviously. But I do this stuff because this is what gets me the fucking views. This is how I make my money. And you're part of that if you're watching. You're part of that demand, you know? So, you know, you can get off your fucking high horse straight away, you little bitch.
Left, right, and center. Yeah. You would cross me, I would slap the fuck out of you. No questions. What the fuck did you say? Wham. First time, like, I'm just impulsive. The next few times, people are like, nah, you gotta fucking hold yourself. Because it ain't cute. When you're 9, it's gonna pass. When you're 12, cops are coming. You understand what I'm saying? You become a whole threat. You have to understand that. The first time, we get it. But no, you can't use the same excuse over and no, girl. No. I have money, but I'm not buying it.
Hold up. You're impulsive. Your impulsivity is not something separated from you. You are the impulsiveness. Do you understand what that means? I don't get to punch a bitch in the face and be like, I got anger management issue, as if that matters.
Oops.
You going to jail, stupid. I got ADHD. I can't focus and I just stuck my dick in a random bitch. That's not how it works.
Jesus.
Like, people use this mental health shit as if it's a get out of jail free card to explain away your irrational behavior. Mm-hmm. You got a problem? Okay. Guess what that means? You got to learn to work with your problem. Just because you have BPD does not mean you get to treat everybody like garbage and not be accountable for that. That's not what that means. It means that you are doing everything in your power.
This is really true in terms of like mental health can explain and contextualize why people do certain things. But if you do something fucked up or messed up that hurts someone, that behavior is bad and ought to be criticized or whatever. I mean, I don't think that like the internet maelstrom is the best way to obviously correct that behavior. But nonetheless, you know, that seems to be what happens in these circumstances. But yeah, I mean, what else is there? What else is there? But in any case, yeah, I don't think you can ever really use mental health to explain away bad behavior. You can use to contextualize why you engage in that behavior. But guess what, guys? Part of mental health is trying. This is a take that caused a fucking uproar on the internet recently, right? Part of mental health is trying and putting effort in. Like, that's just a reality, right? Whether that's sticking to whatever treatment thing you've got, whether it's engaging with healthcare professionals, you know, you have to put some level of effort in order to overcome your mental struggles. And I speak as someone who has had mental health issues, okay? You know, I know people that have had mental health issues, and yeah, the reality is you got to try. And if you are, you know, repeatedly engaging in some sort of bad behavior, then you ought to, like, obviously, you know, if possible, speak to someone that can help you, but like reflect on that and move forward. So, yeah.
to mitigate as much of the hurt as you are doing. And if you hurt somebody, you still need to be accountable for that. It makes it more understandable, but it doesn't make it any less wrong. You understand? Let's keep listening.
Whatever. I'm a bad person to don't take me seriously, I guess. I don't know. Clearly I'm not okay. Clearly I'm not okay. I'm very mentally ill. I don't know if I should be in this space, but now I don't know.
I'm mentally ill now? Really? When people have told you before to take accountability over the years, you said, no, I got a lot to say, all this stuff. Now that shit's really coming down, you're mentally ill and you shouldn't be in this space? Damn, it's unbelievable how people try to escape accountability. Did you guys see that? Like a snake in the grass.
You know what it is? People are using this mental health thing to do a lot of things. The same way some men are using being gay whenever they do things to other men.
He's talking about the Kevin Spacey thing. Funnily enough, I was watching a Kevin Spacey film the other day, and I read up again about his misdeeds, alleged misdeeds. And yeah, that's exactly what happened with Kevin Spacey. It came out that Kevin Spacey had apparently done some weird stuff with this lad when he was 14, allegedly. And then he sort of came out and said, "I'm going to live my life as a gay man now." I think that's what he's talking about. The problem is he's saying it in hey, I just realized ads just came up. Right, we need to wait for the ads. We're going to wait for the ads this time because I'm a nice guy, okay? We're going to wait for the ads. I can see ads now. Because of my setup, because I've got the chat on a second screen, but it's just my stream, I can see the ads. Now we'll wait for ads this time. Okay, well, I'll give you some extra memes. I'll talk more about Kevin Spacey. There was a funny meme where it's Kevin Spacey came out as gay and then there's another accuser comes out at Kevin Spacey. And the meme was he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm also trans." I thought that was a good meme. I was honestly kind of low-key gutted about Kevin Spacey thing because, I really like Kevin Spacey. But apparently, in court, I think it was found that he wasn't guilty or something. I can't remember. But there was some sort of court case. I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest, but... The trans reverse Uno card only works if you kill someone like Bruce Jenner did with his car a week before coming out. Jesus. What ad's this? New season coming 2023. Freebie. Little freebie advert. The accuser lost in civil court. What does that mean then? So what are we to take from that? It just means that... Because obviously it's not a confirmation that it didn't happen... But it's just there wasn't sufficient evidence supplied to say that it did. Where do we stand? What do we think about Kevin Spacey now off the back of that? I don't understand. What does that mean for Kevin Spacey? Anyway, I think ads are finished. I've been thinking about this for a while. Do you think most streamers your size and large have hate watchers? What would be motivated to hate watch? Yeah, I've definitely got hate watchers. I think that it can be an interaction, bad interaction, that they're pissed off with you. There are some fucking schizos out there that will just watch your content and shit on you relentlessly. They're just schizos. They're just mentally ill people. What kind of person sets up multiple accounts when you ban them so they can just talk shit to you? That's severe mental illness. Anyway, let's get back into this. Interesting question is, how long is the cancel culture prison sentence before you can come back to work? Louis C.K. is thankfully back to his craft already. Well, this is the biggest issue with the cancel culture stuff, is that there is no terms, there is no sort of firm stuff. Unfortunately, the reality is it just is whatever the internet decides, and often the internet will determine that you are forever gone from the internet, or should be, because you've done something wrong, which I obviously disagree with. So, yeah. Louis C.K. even got complaints. There were comedy. Oh, hey, Tips, how's it going? I have a lot like those. You have to take one they don't like, and one take you don't like, and they keep hate watching you after that. Yeah, true. I think that. Yeah. What was I saying? I can't remember.
Kevin Spacey. When he got called out, he said, well, I'm gay. He came out.
Hey, see?
He
I told you,
used
Kevin
that
Spacey.
There is such thing as gay privilege for those kind of things. And it's the same thing.
Oh, the Louis C.K. thing. There were people that were complaining about Louis C.K. getting gigs. Louis C.K. was getting like gigs from comedy clubs, and people were on Twitter complaining about it. Like, if a comedy, like, this is what I mean, is people want it to be harsher. People want it to be harsher. They want people to be punished forever. They want them gone forever. And when that doesn't happen, they act like a child that's had their toy taken away, and they start fucking screeching on Twitter about it. You know? When I just think, look, if a comedy club is like willing to have him in there, despite a bad thing he's done in the past, I mean, that's up to them at the end of the day.
Whenever you use, it's not me. I'm a bit crazy. It's not me. It's the craziness talking. No.
Maybe I don't interact with the
You don't have to
internet
watch.
the way
You
that I'm
say
supposed to.
that before you do
Because-
something about it.
I will never fucking do anything about it.
That's the question.
That way.
When are you gonna do something about it?
That way.
Then let's listen to her response.
That bar.
Here we go. I believe the individual in question is Lycan. Shout outs to you, bro.
Let's go. Where we'll stand up.
Do anything about it. I won't. This is just who I am.
What? No, bring that shit back. I did not hear properly.
I shouldn't have said anything. I'm very impulsive.
Maybe I don't interact with the
How many
internet the
times
way
are
that
you going
I'm
to say
supposed
that before you do
Because-
something about it?
I will never fucking do anything about it.
Wow. I heard right. Wow. Wow. I heard right. I thought, okay, fuck that shit.
Then why would no.
I've been a streamer for 3 months. Give me let me.
How many times do you have to get into these situations before you realize, fuck, maybe I need to step back and consider how I behave on stream and what I say publicly?
She's been on this shit for 3 months?
No.
And how many? Okay, how many times did it happen?
3 times.
3 and 3?
But
Every month there's a new shit?
She been on.
Wait. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's. I think they've got that wrong. I don't think that she's like had 3 months and 3 things, right? I think more so what they're talking about. It's the 3. So it's the Gabriel Gundaker stuff. It's the other coordinate. What's the name? Cole. It's Sick in chat. Sick will be able to tell you. It's the Cole guy that also this happened with, and then the Hasan thing. I suppose the Destiny thing too. Each month there's been a new drama. Oh, I see. I thought they meant that she's done 3 false allegations in 3 months. But you're saying it's a drama a month, basically. Is that right? You say they explain.
On TikTok, and she's been, she's got a bunch of 500K followers for almost 2 years.
Okay, so she's lying again.
She lying. She can't stop lying. She's acting like, no, she's lying.
I'm obviously severely mentally ill. I dissociate constantly. I don't know what is real and what is
Here's
not
a real
real.
piece of.
I'm extremely underdeveloped socially. Now take all of that, and I do not I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I know that I made a mistake. I feel fucking bad.
It's fine. Let's erase everything that's happened up to this point. You're gonna go forward from the stream, trying to make it.
That is the face of a drama farmer right there.
That is the key. And
I don't know if I am, and you can't hold
Right,
me
like
to that. I don't know.
Just-
Oh my god, this is so annoying. Everything becomes about me. Everything becomes about me. It always comes back to me. Why? Why?
My friends,
This is a sickness of the highest order. We have discovered that you are allergic to accountability. In America, you can do this. You can go and say, this one, he's eaten my child. And then they're going to say, but you've never given birth. I'm retarded, I'm stupid. We have created a society that rewards people for having a sickness. Look at this one. Imagine You are nobody. Then you say somebody touched you like this. They just grabbed your balls like this and they tickled. All of a sudden, you're on every mainstream news. We have rewarded people for engaging in deception. Imagine if you have come out, you are nobody, and you say, Hasan, this man, he has ruptured my anus. So
whenever we're talking about fake allegations, that's not what we're talking about, by the way, for those who are wondering. Whenever they talk about, well, yeah, but there's only 3% of fake allegations. This is not one of them, because that's not reported.
Yes.
A step further.
Oh my God, I'm so glad they're making this point, because I said this earlier, and I'm going to say it again, because it's such a good point, it's worth repeating, okay? False allegations are rare in the context of being reported to the fucking police, okay? Which is obviously, yes, of course they are, okay? Because people are far less likely to make a false statement to the police because there's actually legal consequences that will come as a result of making misleading or false claims to the police. Now, obviously, for online stuff, a thing that happens online, we don't really have anything but the court of public opinion. It sucks, but that's what we're left with. That's why, as best you can, you've got to try and look at each example on its merits and assess from there. If you go in with the premise of only 3% of allegations are false, you're going to really fail. You're going to really miss the mark in analysing some of these things that happen, because there's lots of claims that are made online where there's no consequence for it being false. So of course people can say whatever they want, and yes, they should be scrutinised. And oftentimes there's stuff that was said online that if you went to the police, they would rightly throw it out because no real crime has been committed, So, yeah, I think that this is a really good point, and we really need to move away from this stupid talking point of, oh, well, only X amount of fault. Yeah, sure. But when we're talking about online stuff, we need to use a different measurement or a different metric, because obviously there's far less false rapes reported to the police because people are less likely to do so because of the consequences that can come, if you're found. The problem is so bad with the police that sometimes people don't report actual rapes that happen because they're concerned they'll fall through the gaps of the false allegation thing, So yeah, if anything, the metric needs to move the other way in terms of reporting to the police. But online claims can be they're just made, and because who's seen it, right? Where someone puts out a twit longer. No evidence, nothing, not even a DM screenshot of anything. It is literally just someone's testimony, right? Now, if you went to the police with someone's testimony, right, they're not just going to go, oh yeah, well, that clearly means the crime was committed. They're going to investigate and they're going to try and substantiate the claims that are made. But online, oh no, don't worry about that. Put a twit longer out, go and look at the replies. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Instantaneously accepted as fact, as a factual thing that happened. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. And then obviously, in some cases, there's, the Prime Kai stuff's a great example. The Prime Kai stuff is a great example of this, where initially, when the Prime Kai stuff happened, there was an absolute mountain of people that were immediately saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I nearly said prime crime. Prime Kai is such a filthy piece of shit and he's a bad person and da-da-da-da-da. And it was only through further investigation that we saw, okay, well, hang on a second, there's a bit more to this story here, right? And it wasn't actually the tale of Prime Kai being some sort of predatory fucking, harasser that was trying to harass this person. It was more so that there was definitely those mixed messages, that Prime had maybe done a couple of things which were worthy of criticism or analysis, but broadly speaking, there was a lot more going on there that further contextualized the actions and, led to the more broad conclusion that actually Prime got done pretty fucking dirty. Obviously part of that being Destiny coming forward and speaking out strongly in his defense. So yeah, testimony instantaneously accepted, and that was even worse in some ways because there was screenshots. There were screenshots that looked on the face of it like this looks a bit weird. Like what's going on here? But then through further investigation and context, actually there was more going on there. You know, that maybe, like, you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's just leave this in the past, okay? An allegation should only stand on its merit. Testimony is important, and understanding someone's experience is important. If you do think a crime has been committed against you, the worst thing you can do is to talk about it online. The best thing to do is to go to the police, because they've got the tools and resources to hopefully investigate it further and get some justice, okay? If you think something bad has happened to you that isn't a crime, I think that certainly you're within rights to tell your story, and that's okay. But also, there is going to be scrutiny, and if your story holds up, there shouldn't be any reason to avoid that scrutiny, because scrutiny is what helps us get closer to the truth of what happened.
Another dude before these two, right? And everybody celebrated her. Go Queen, you're so brave. She told us the details of the story. You know what happened? This is what she claimed happened. She said she went on this date with this dude. They were flirting. They went back to his place.
And then I made like a joke about it. My first video was like, LOL, that one time when like this like LA comedian like kind of forced me to eat his ass when I was like pushing against him. LOL. And it was just like a funny video.
Wait, that doesn't sound funny. That sounds really extreme.
And this might be a bit fucked up, but like I feel like eating ass has got to be one of the hardest things to force someone to do. I'm not gonna lie.
There was a lot of pressure on my head, and he was like keeping my mouth full and making sure that he was not making eye contact with me, so I couldn't say no. Like, it was very weird. I wouldn't say that he raped me, but it was definitely like a very strange situation.
And basically she was eating him from the back, and then she went home. And I kept thinking to myself, do you know how hard it is to force someone to do something for you while you're on all fours? And they behind you?
And they spread.
By the way, if you want further context and information about that, I'd really recommend going and watching Sick's video, because Sick has laid everything out quite nicely.
I'm sorry, my nigga. I'm just saying. Listen, if you want me to do something to you, bitch, you better not give me your back. Give me your money.
They've lost it.
Hey, wait! Hold up! Hey, bitch, where your money at? Give it to me now! I'll fucking kill you!
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Let me not aim at my own asshole.
No, it would be funny if he holds the gun in his butt cheek and he's just like, give me your money! Give it! Yeah, put it in the pocket, put it in the back pocket, yeah. I
don't give a fuck. Let's laugh at laugh at this one.
That's
She's made up 2 times, alligator. You think the first one was real? She's made up 2 times. Why should you trust anything this bitch says?
That's an MO right now. That's an MO.
And you guys ask me, why do people lie? I don't know. She don't even know. She said she retarded.
The thing is like, look, in all seriousness, okay, obviously, there's definitely a dynamic that can exist. Also, was he on all fours? I don't think it was like that, was it? I don't want to fucking... Listen, I'm feeling a bit nauseous in any case. But like, obviously, yeah, there could be situations where like pressure is applied, whatever, sure. It is funny. It is funny, obviously. I just think that I just don't want it to seem like I'm like, yeah, well, I agree. I don't agree necessarily that like in sexual situations there can't be like some power applied because you're in a vulnerable situation. Like, obviously, I think that if you go and watch the context and you can understand it better, yeah, obviously you will come away with certain conclusions off the back of it. Yeah. But, you know, obviously someone's saying in chat here that there's like multiple allegations against this guy, apparently. Gundacker is a serial offender from what I've seen. There's an Excel spreadsheet of allegations from women, including multiple women who've contracted HPV from him and now have cancer. Pretty fucked. I think that there's certainly some things which are kind of troubling about the fella, for sure. Like, I don't think necessarily that he's, you know, innocent, so to speak. But even if he is like doing bad things in some situations, the way that kind of Lav went about dealing with it was terrible, because obviously she was just kind of putting stories up with no seeming due diligence to check who they were, if they were legitimate, etc. And if someone is this kind of prolific and doing crazy shit, like giving people HPV, I mean, in that situation, obviously, yeah, you probably need to contact the police and take it more seriously and take it further.
She crazy.
People ask you?
No, we're not laughing at that. No, you get that shit out of here. Imagine if there was a serial rapist out there and he just out here getting his ass eaten, just bending over like, you my shit out of this back alley. But I'm scared. Walk away, but this man gave you back.
You scared while the guy's like screaming, oh yeah.
I mean, look, listen. I think these guys are thinking that he was bent over on all fours, you know, asking for that. But I don't think that's how it happened. I think he was on his back. I'm arbitrary, but that's not aimed at me because I've watched that video twice now, and I've watched it once in full, and the second time I watched it, I specifically watched the Gabriel Gundaker stuff. So my stream has been exposed to it twice. It is funny to imagine, yeah.
Didn't mean
the reason why I say this is because, like, if you ever had your ass eaten, you know how much of a vulnerable and weak position it is.
You don't have to have your ass eaten to know that.
There's, you know, I'm just saying, when you get your ass eaten from the back, it's very hard to look manly.
It wasn't from the back, though, was it?
You gotta arch your back.
But no, it wasn't like that. No, they've got it wrong. It wasn't like that. No, he was on his back. He was on his back, and it was, you know, more like that. Pushed her head down towards that area, off the back of another activity involving that.
It's already a wrap.
I mean, look, okay, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, right? I'm going to be honest with you. This is exuberance, okay? Let's put it like that. I feel this is exuberance. I don't think that it's necessary to go into this much detail about that particular act. Is it funny? Yes, obviously. Sure, of course. But, like, is it necessary? I personally don't think so, all right? I'm just putting it out there on the record.
Or it's hard to look stuck down and have your back arched.
Or you have your legs behind your head.
Oh, no, we're not doing that one. That one's a crazy.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. So I think more or less like that, but on the back at least.
He was being very menacing.
Thanks for the bits.
Getting his dunks in on like 100%. Therefore, I support him wholeheartedly.
This is just misogyny at this point. Come on.
Okay.
No more misogyny, guys.
Like, I always admit this. I have a big bias against white women. But part of that is like informed by my personal experience, and I've seen the way society reacts to them. And like white women, just I don't know what it is, but they just make the most sympathetic victim. They understand how to cry
white women's tears,
do whatever it is to like sympathize. And not all y'all, because plenty of y'all are mad cool. But I just know it's like the best victims have always been like white ladies for some reason, right? I've had like, so the situation, I've had women I've never met, I've never seen, never spoken to, like DMing people around me being like, yo, Abba came to my school when I was 16 in Oklahoma and he said hi to me and now he won't return my calls now that I'm 19. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't never been to Oklahoma and I ain't talking no goddamn 16-year-old. Who the fuck? This girl bought Patreon accounts, was messaging other creators. And I'm thinking like, yo, this is crazy. But the thing is, you can't defend yourself too hard. How do I prove
something that did not happen?
Exactly. How do I prove I don't know this person? They can fabricate DMs. I can't show you a message history that doesn't exist.
It's like when Amazon asks you, give us a proof that you didn't receive the email. How? I sent a picture of me like this.
So you're gonna arch your back, nigga. I was like, don't do that shit. give me that email, bitch.
I have nothing.
These guys are so funny, man.
Stop. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like we laughing right now because you gotta laugh, but like this shit's frightening. For real. Right? So we gotta cut this whole believe them win shit because after these last 4 or 5 years, we've gone to great lengths. So many high profile stories have come out, and you see, guess what? Just like men, bitches be lying too. Right? So cut this movement out. Stop this whole idea of inherently believing people who do not present any factual evidence of what has happened. And it's got to be a lot of evidence, not some fucking recording that's like edited by the person themselves. Actual evidence. Because we still live in a society with minimal evidence. Women don't get the whole media behind them. Hasan's very fortunate in this regard. The person who was coming at him is a retard, self-admittedly. If it was someone who's a little bit more savvy, someone who's a little bit more strategic, this could be far more heinous, and it would have been much more difficult for him to defend himself. As heinous as having to eat a man's asshole against your will. Okay? Anything
I
you wanna
disavow.
add?
I disavow. I
I thought you were
disavow.
trying to rhyme me up. Turn it off.
Jesus. Well, guys,